Okay, how this all came together was a very bumpy road. It started with Donald Trump basically publicly calling out for Pam Bondi to please bring his perceived enemies to justice. He has described Letitia James, James Comey, Adam Schiff, and a long list beyond that, as you know, as people that are guilty as hell. But what connects all of them is that they either investigated or questioned Donald Trump's governance and other actions that he took in his first administration and now in the current one. The bumpy ball. He called for their heads, essentially. Pam Bondi didn't immediately act on that. Lindsay Halligan realized that Donald Trump wanted Jim Comey indicted. She realized he wanted Letitia James indicted. And when he replaced a other Trump appointee as the U.S. attorney in this office with Lindsay Halligan, she made very quick work of doing exactly what the president sought. First, the Comey indictment 4 days after she took over that large office, and now this one. What's also interesting, and I'm so glad you asked about how this ball has bounced into this place today, is that after the U.S. attorney that the Trump White House appointed to this office said he didn't see probable cause, we reported at MSNBC that yet another senior supervisor in Norfolk had reviewed all the facts and actually concluded there was absolutely no probable cause, no justification to go to a grand jury. And she prepared this for this week or the next week to tell Lindsay Halligan that in a formal way, to tell her, I'm going to have to decline to pursue this case. But Halligan didn't wait for that. I assume she's reading and watching the MSNBC because she didn't wait. She decided to pursue this case on her own today and cleared the decks of the grand jury so that she could present the evidence herself.
Well, Carol, one more question for you. Can you tell us about this grand jury, and then what should we expect next to happen in this case?
Glad you asked about what we know about this grand jury. Sources tell me that you know, because you're a student of this, but grand juries are impaneled in each courthouse around the country. They're impaneled to serve for sometimes weeks, sometimes months at a time. This grand jury had its very first meeting today, and the presentation of this evidence was the first case that they'd heard and the first one that they decided on. Again, that's according to a couple of our sources, and it's just really interesting. It means that this was a pretty newbie kind of unit that hadn't really formed yet, hadn't really taken on any cases, and yet here they get one of the most prominent ones in the land today.
MSNBC's Carol Leonnig, thank you very much for your time this evening and your excellent reporting. Joining us now is MSNBC legal analyst Catherine Christian. She's a former assistant district attorney at the Manhattan DA's office. And Mark Elias is with us, founder of Democracy Docket. He's the chair of the Elias Law Group. Let me just tell y'all, I was on the train earlier today with Mr. Chairman. Mark Elias was on deadline, and he was preaching, and I was texting him for storm. Yes, Mark, yes, plus, yes. Let me just say this. I think that I know Tish James. I think a lot of people here know Tish James. She, I think, Alicia described her as unbowed. And I think that absolutely goes to the heart of her posture here. And she is someone that is ready for this moment. She is unbowed. She's ready. She understands that this is not just about her. She's doing her job. And she was indicted, a grand jury indicted her because she dared to hold power to account. That is why we are talking about this. So I don't want to hear anything from anybody out there about, well, did she not? The President of the United States has directed an indictment of the sitting Attorney General of New York. Tonight, that's what happened.
In the same week, he said that the governor of Illinois should be thrown into prison.
Oh, as well as the mayor. So tomorrow is J.B. Pritzker next. Is Brandon Johnson next? He already got James Comey.
John Bolton.
John Brennan.
You forget LaMonica MacGyver. I got to bring this back to LaMonica MacGyver. She is a sitting member of Congress from the state of New Jersey who exercised her responsibility, her statutory responsibility to do oversight investigations of ICE facilities. And she did it, and she got indicted for it. And that case is still going on, and I always bring people's attention to it, because if you think this started with James Comey and this is going to end with Tish James, you are sadly mistaken. We are only 8 months into this administration. We have already seen a U.S. senator thrown to the ground for trying to ask a question at a press conference. We have already seen a member of Congress indicted in New Jersey. We have seen the comptroller of New York manhandled. We have now seen the former FBI director indicted at the direction of the president. Now, the Attorney General of New York.
Oh, they arrested an older person in Chicago the other day for attempting to ask questions.
The days of the Department of Justice and the rules that everyone keeps citing to me. Well, the rules of this, the rules of that. Those rules, that rule book is gone. Okay, those rules are gone. This is a president who believes he controls the Department of Justice, and he decides who's guilty, who's innocent, who gets indicted, and who gets prosecuted. And if we don't all wake up to that, then we're going to keep having this conversation about who checked what box on a form. Nothing about who checked what box on a form is what this case is about.
Bravo. I agree with that. And for me, it just kind of brings me to this point, Catherine, where I'm looking at this landscape. And tonight, to be honest, is really kind of in the legal space as a recovering lawyer.
God bless you.
I know. Tonight, I'm sad. I really feel sad and bad about what's happening to the jurisprudence of this country. And we're about to see what that jurisprudence fully looks like in the Trump era, because now a lot of these cases are going to be bubbling up through the system and coming before Trump-appointed judges that everyone kind of poo-pooed and said, oh, well, yeah, they've never tried a case, but that doesn't matter. Just let's pass them on and put them on the bench. Well, they're on the bench now. And they're going to be hearing a lot of these cases at the district court level, at the appellate court level. What does this say to you in this moment that, as Mark rightly laid out, all of these data points, but what does it tell you about the institution that the country right now needs to wake up to and really appreciate, not because they've never had an encounter with a lawyer, but because they very well may, whether they want to or not?
Exactly. It's not just sad, it's also frightening, because in this country, whether or not, Tish James or anyone else who's now being targeted has committed a crime or not is irrelevant. If you're being selectively prosecuted, that means being targeted. If you're being vindictively prosecuted, that means you're being punished for some perceived wrong. If you are denied a fair trial because there's all of this outrageous bad publicity about you, you're being called a dirty cop, you're being called a lunatic, that denies you the fair trial. So these cases, hopefully, you said Trump judges, there are some Trump judges who have done the right thing because they remembered that they're judges and they have a lifetime appointment, so they don't have to worry about being removed. But it is very frightening because this is even beyond a retribution agenda, because we are talking about people's lives. And yes, some of them can afford lawyers, but who wants to be indicted? Right. Who wants to have to go through this? And in many ways, maybe it's not the outcome that the president cares about. It's just the process. It's that I am, messing with your life by doing this.
And I can do this.
It's a payback, yes.
I can do this if I want to.
What does it say to you that Halligan was the only signature on the indictment?
It says that, once again, a woman who has no background or history in this area, who was Donald Trump's personal lawyer, and I believe prior to that was an insurance lawyer, was put in this position, we know, because Donald Trump had confidence that she would do the thing that he wanted to do, have done, and that others weren't willing to do it. So the fact that she is now, I assumed, appeared before her second grand jury of her entire career and have now secured 2 ridiculously dumb indictments to do the bidding of Donald Trump tells us that this is exactly what we expect it to be. Now, I've had my back and forth throughout the day about what it says for the other prosecutors in the office who are not on the indictment. I mean, it is better that they are not on the indictment than they are. It is better that they are not prosecuting a case than they are. But, I look at what 2 prosecutors did in New York around the Eric Adams matter, and they resigned. Like, they didn't just say, we're not going to do it. They resigned, and they wrote letters that were quite powerful. And I wish we're seeing more of that right now in the Department of Justice. Not people who are hiding from getting, don't want to take the phone call to be asked to do something they don't want to do, not staying quiet, but actually would be loud and really stand up for the rule of law.